Welcome to MicDrop Analysis. Today I want to talk about a song that's haunted me. It's inspired me and it's forced me to confront some hard truths about the world we live in. That song is Bruce Springsteen's Born in the U.S.A. from his 1984 album of the same name. You know, on the surface it's an anthem. It's a fist-pumping, stadium-filling declaration of pride. But when you really listen to the lyrics, when you peel back some of the layers, it's something much darker, much deeper, and much more profound. It's a song about identity, essentially. It's about struggle, and it's about the gap between the promises we're given and the realities we face. Two lines. That's all it takes for Springsteen to set the stage. The protagonist isn't born into opportunity or hope. He's born into a place that's already dying. A dead man's town. And his first experience of life, well, it's a kick, a blow. It's as if the world is telling him, this is what you're worth. Have you ever felt like that? Like the world was against you from the very start? I know I have. And honestly, that's why these lines hit so hard. They're not just about one man's struggle. They're about the universal experience of feeling like you're born into a fight you didn't choose.
End up like a dog that's been beat too much till you spend half your life just to cover it.
This is where the pain becomes personal. The protagonist isn't just struggling, he's broken. He's been beaten down so many times that all he can do is try to hide the damage. How many of us have felt like that? Like we're just trying to cover up the scars, the pain, the parts of ourselves that feel too raw to show anyone. These lines are like a gut punch, essentially, because they remind us that survival isn't always pretty. Sometimes it's about just getting through the day.
Born in the U.S.A. I was born in the U.S.A.
At first, this sounds like a celebration. But when you hear it in the context of the verses, it takes on a completely different meaning. It's not a boast, it's a lament. It's the cry of someone who's proud of where they came from, yes, but also feels betrayed by it. It's the cry of someone who's asking, is this all there is? Is this what it's meant to be born in the land of the free? These two lines are devastating in their simplicity. The protagonist isn't a hero, he's just a guy who got into trouble. But what's the solution? Well, send him off to war, give him a rifle, make him a soldier. It's wild how easily young lives can be just thrown away in our society. How quickly someone can be turned into a tool of destruction.
Send me off to a foreign land to go and kill the yellow man.
This line is brutal. It's not just about the violence of war, it's about the dehumanization. The enemy isn't even a person, he's the yellow man. And in that dehumanization, the protagonist loses a piece of himself as well. He's not a person anymore, he's just a weapon. Now, can you imagine, after everything he's been through, after everything he's sacrificed, he's met with, indifference. The hiring man's words are empty. They're a shrug, a dismissal. It's a betrayal, plain and simple. This is where the system fails him completely. The VA man doesn't offer any help or compassion. He just says, don't you understand? As if the problem is the protagonist's inability to accept his fate. It's infuriating, it's heartbreaking, and it's a reality that so many veterans have faced. These lines are personal. They're about family. They're about loss. The brother just isn't a soldier, he's a person. He's someone who had a life, a love, a future. Honestly, this is where the song breaks my heart. The brother's gone, but the war isn't. It's it's still there, still haunting those who survived. And the image of the woman he loved in Saigon, it's beautiful, it's tragic all at once. It's a reminder of what was lost, of what can never be regained. These lines paint a picture of a life with no escape. The penitentiary looms in the background, a constant threat. The refinery burns. This is a symbol of grinding, soul-crushing labor. It's a world that offers no way out. This is the reality for so many people. They're trapped in a cycle of despair with no end in sight. And yet, even here, there's a glimmer of resilience. The protagonist, he's still here, and he's still fighting, he's still surviving. So what does it all mean to be born in the U.S.A? Well, for some it means privilege and opportunity, but for others it might mean struggle and sacrifice. But for all of us it does mean something. It's a part of who we are, and it's up to us to decide what we want to do with that identity, how we honor it, how we challenge it, and how we make it our own. And let's not forget the people who've been left behind. Let's not forget about those veterans, the working class and the marginalized. But let's not forget about the American dream, and it's still out of reach for far too many. But let's also remember that we have the power to change that. We have the power to build a country that lives up to its promises, a country where everyone has the chance to thrive. Thanks for watching MicDrop Analysis. Till next time.